a big punch up in centre of ground. Nate Miles with a left and a right from Gallen, and they both landed on the face of Nate Miles. Gallen goes into the swinging arm. That's the trigger. And then watch this. Bang, bang, left, right. Paul Gallen dug into the history books of Nate Miles there.
Don't try this at home, kids, but to tell you what, when it comes to rivalries and individual ones, Nate Miles v Paul Gallen was that and some. And Brad, I guess when it gets amplified by the Origin hatred as well, it just fueled it even further.
Well, there's no better rivalry. And I know there was through a period there where a lot of the players believed that Nate and a few of the players were coming in hard. I know there was a few tackles on Robbie Farah where they're leading with their head. And Origins, you normally got a chance to throw everything into them. That's why there's a lot of fights through the start of Origin, and they sort of turned a blind eye. And Gal just sort of said, well, I remember them saying during that, I was part of that camp, and they just saying, well, we can't let it happen any longer. And it was after that fight, actually, they changed the rules on punching. So it pretty much was, Gal got the last shot in.
Gal said he was justified because he had his knee twisted. And it's interesting, the reaction of Nate Miles. He's filthy that he didn't have his hands up because
he said
hands
on
it's
his
a bad
side.
look for the game because he's old school. I don't think he realised it was going to lead to a no punch rule type thing and that. So he's filthy that it looked worse because he had the hands down.
It got our team thinking about what could possibly make the top 5 dust-ups of all time in rugby league. So here's just a few, always controversial. Number 5, this one again on the Origin Arena. Joey and Jamie Goddard. Now, this came over 2 matches in a few years too. You're talking Game 2, 1995, and then it continued over the course of another couple of series to Game 3, 1997, when it came to a head. So you've got individual stuff going on, but there was plenty in the background too. Number 4 on the list on the back of that, Anthony Watts and Robbie Farah, round 19, 2009. So it was Watts early and Robbie later.
Yeah, I remember that because Watts had give him an uppercut in the scrum, and then they went to the next scrum, and I said, well, Robbie, the spirits of Leichhardt Oval are watching, mate. What are you going to do here? He didn't let anyone down. He went in swinging.
Both ended up in the bin on the back of that one as well. Of course, a bit of tension between those two teams a few years after the 05 decider. Number 3, Steve Price, Brett White. This is brutal. And Steve Price, it doesn't end well for him here either. So it's Game 3. 2009.
Both standing and delivering there.
That's brutal state of origin right there. Number 2, Gordy had to feature somewhere, didn't he? He and Ben Ross back at the start, round 1, 2003.
Well, I challenge you to count how many punches he throws because I can't keep up. It's a thrashing machine.
A raging bull.
Do tell us.
Panthers obviously get the last laugh there because they are going to win the premiership in 2003. But number 1, it's a clear winner.
Well, we knew there was rivalry, and punches are still being thrown.
So you go for 10. Why you going, please?
Well, Blair might as well start walking because he's not going to stay there.
So it was Adam Blair and Glenn Stewart in an embrace of the century. Hang on, we better stay. Oh, it's on again! It's on again! Glenn Stewart and Adam Blair, and here come the reinforcements. Now they've come from the bench as well. So Glenn Stewart has been sent, and Adam Blair is about to be sent. Well, I haven't seen anything like this in this modern era.
Well, that's a waste. They'd like their last few minutes over, wouldn't they, those two? What a waste.
Hard to forget that one, the Battle of Brookie, the Storm and the Seagulls, and what a rivalry it has become as well. Let's bring in one man that was on the pitch that night in the Storm colours, and that is their great Billy Slater. Hello, Bill.
G'day, Brace.
Your memories from that night?
It was things boiled over that night, and that was probably a result of many big games against each other. I just heard Gus mention you play a big game against a team and like a grand final, and a rivalry starts, and it all started in 07. But this night at Brookvale Oval, it was tempers sort of escalated, and it all started with Ryan Hinchcliffe and Darcy Lussick, and then obviously these two, Adam Blair and Glenn Stewart, they got sent to the sin bin and they reignited it. I think the only punch that connected was Brett Stewart that coming in from the side. But, it was a wild night at the Brookvale, that one.
Did you feel it building through the night, Billy?
I probably felt it building through the years, Sterling, more than the night. And, you know, we look back at last year, you know, and Will Chambers. Again, Gus, you mentioned when the fans get involved, that's when you know it's a real rivalry. And the altercation between a fan and Will Chambers, who got sent to the sin bin at Brookvale last year, shows it's still alive today.